Greetings, peace, and love, Sister Alexis of Divine Notary and the Notary Wellness Mentor. Today's topic is being safe while on your notary signing jobs. I oftentimes get asked if I'm afraid to go into people's houses. Also, people have mentioned that they don't feel comfortable with doing so, and what could they do? Well, one of the first things I would have to say is, and if you've watched and listened to any of my audios and videos, I constantly talk about this. It starts in the mind. I understand that the things that we see on TV are real. We might even know people who have experienced victimization of all different types of crimes. But it really does start in the mind. We can't go into someone's house already feeling fearful because we'll miss a lot of opportunities. So when I go into houses and when I get phone calls is usually the first screening part. If you get a phone call from someone and it doesn't feel right, I don't care how much money they're offering. I am not doing it. I am someone who considers my intuition to be very strong, and I practice it, I strengthen it, I work on it on a regular basis, and it doesn't steer me wrong unless I steer it wrong. That being said, if it doesn't feel right, it's not happening. I'm not doing a job I don't feel comfortable with, and I don't have to have a reason. So that's first and foremost, understanding that there are always hints, clues, signs, feelings that let you know that something isn't right. And when that happens, listen to it, listen to it, listen to it, listen to it. The other piece is I make sure that I send my location to family members, those who are close to me, and let them know, hey, I have a job at this time in this area and I'm working with this company, kind of thing. And that seems to make the people around me comfortable, especially I live in the backwoods and sometimes I lose service and it can be a really sticky situation. So making sure you send your alert location to family members, or at least them knowing what company that you're working with, just in case, just in case. And I know we're not, we want to make sure that we're thinking positive, but we also want to have certain strategies put in place as well. The last thing that I would suggest, and this tends to be kind of controversial when I do talk to individuals, is to make sure that you carry something safety-wise. For instance, if you are not in a state that allows you to have mace, then I'm not suggesting that you do that. If you're not in a state that allows you to have a stun gun, then I would not suggest you do that. But if you are in a state that allows you to have like a collapsible baton, then that's something that you want to make sure that you can get. Having a flashlight, that could potentially protect you because it could be used as a weapon, but at night when you're going to these different locations, you want to make sure you have a high-powered flashlight, because if you are in an area like mine, sometimes the houses aren't numbered properly and it's pitch dark. So I try not to do appointments too late in the winter because of that reason. Right about now, it's almost 5:00 p.m. and it's not pitch dark, but it's definitely heading to that type of darkness, and that's usually when I don't want to do appointments. Every once in a while, depending on what's going on with me, I may do one, or the company, I may do one. But just being mindful of that, having a flashlight it could be really important. And I know we're like, we have our phones, but sometimes people don't want to use their phones. So having that flashlight to either guide you to the steps of a place. One time I went to this house and I was so annoyed. Excuse me. I was so annoyed that they didn't mention it to me, but the front of their house floods. And so when I got there, I was like, are you kidding me? It was like trying to step over a pond. And she knew I was coming, and it was just like, why didn't you let me know this, or why didn't you direct me through another door? So be mindful of that as well. Just a sidebar note. But yeah, pretty much those are the things that you need to consider when you're out on the road, going to these appointments, away from your family. Your safety is so important. You don't want to be out in there and your children are like, well, I don't know. She said she had a job, and they don't know where you were, what city you were in, or anything like that. So your safety is important, not just to you, to everyone around you. So please make sure that you have the necessary measures in place to support your family in regards to knowing where you are, so we all can feel comfortable about your movements. All right. If this was helpful to you in any way, please like, subscribe, comment, and share with a notary friend. If you also have any experience with feeling unsafe in the notary field, I would be interested in hearing your story. If it's a long story, email me, and maybe we can do an interview on it. If it's a short story, drop it in the comment section. All right, thanks so much. Peace and love. Talk to you soon.